Okay, so today we have INXS and Need You Tonight, and we have the video here. I feel like my lips look orange. I was drinking Gatorade. Anyway, I am a bit sick. If you can tell, my voice has gone a bit hoarse, but let's get into INXS. It's been over a year since I last reacted to them, and yeah, Need You Tonight, I guess, is one of their hits. So let's get into it, talk about it after. Yeah, let's go. Nice percussion.
Is this moment 21st century's yesterday. You can care all you want. Everybody does, yeah, that's okay. So slide over here and give me a moment. Your moves are so raw. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. My kind. I need you tonight, 'cause I'm not sleeping. There's something about you, girl, that makes me sweat. I'm lonely. What do you think? Can't think at all. What you gonna do? Gonna live my life. So slide over here and give me a moment. Your moves are so raw. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. You are my kind. You tonight, 'cause I'm not sleeping. There's something about you, girl, that makes me sweat. So how do you feel? I'm lonely. What do you think? Can't think at all. What you gonna do? Gonna live. And give me a moment. Your moves are so raw. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. So slide over here and give me a moment. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. You're one of my kind.
Jesus Christ. INXS, Need You Tonight. I mean, I've done INXS reactions before. I've done two. I thought I've done more, but I've only done two. This is my third one. And looking at Michael Hutchence here, 1987 this was. What a beautiful man. I mean, goddamn, and that was the point, I guess. You know, I think of one of my favorite bands, just to say, is the Cars. Benjamin Orr was the eye candy of the band there, and I guess you would say Michael is the eye candy of the band here, but he was the front man. He was the voice as well, and what a beautiful a wide range he had too, I will say, at the top with his softness here, his whisper he used, and then especially when you would go into the one of the verses, I guess you would say, where he was himself would ask a question, and then the backing vocals, including him, would come in and answer the question, and at that point he would have a shout, and he would show his power. But yeah, just the way he showed off his voice here, and his chops, and his vocal chops, and just what a performance in that way. But just with, I mean, you talk about the song is bouncy. I mean, his hair is bouncy. What a beautiful face as well. It's just I mean, even as somebody, as a straight person, as a straight man, I mean, you can't help but be like, oh my god, Michael Hutchence was a beautiful man, sexy man, and again, everything here, it exudes sex, it exudes horniness. I mean, the song is horny as hell. It's almost like a booty call, I would say. Almost like, and what came to mind is like, is this like a one night stand kind of feeling, or are we just talking about something that's going to last a lifetime or whatever? But either way, yeah, a booty call in a way comes to mind, and to describe the song, and it just how sultry it is, how sexy it is, how hot it is, and how steamy everything seems to be. And I'm glad I watched the video, because you could get all that stuff from just the song itself, but when you look at the visuals, when you look at Michael especially, I mean, he's the focal point. I love the rest of the band. I mean, my God, the guitar work here is brilliant, but of course Michael's face is the focal point, and just again that luscious hair, those luscious locks. But anyway, and the looks he would give, and everyone is just staring at the camera. I mean, you're watching the video and everyone's just staring at you, and I know they do that in many music videos, but I mean, my God, they're just staring right through you, staring at your soul, and I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but yeah. So I talked about Michael there and just how brilliant he was, and I will say though, I did read apparently Andrew Ferris, who I guess came up with the riff. He played the riff, I would say, on the electric guitar, because there was 3 guys on electric guitar on this track. But from what I read, because I don't like to go into a song cold, so here you are. But Andrew, I guess, came up with the riff. He said while he was waiting for a taxi to take him to the airport to go to Hong Kong, and he recorded it. I guess he said he went back in his motel room, recorded it, came back out, went to the taxi. I guess he left the taxi there for like an hour, which I imagine the taxi driver wasn't too happy. But either way, a great song came out of it. He showed Michael Hutchence the riff, and then Michael wrote, from what I read too, wrote the lyrics in under an hour. And I have seen people say, I might as well say too, that some have said that maybe this is a reference to drugs. Maybe there's a double meaning to the lyrics. Of course, you can think about him going after a woman here, but apparently some people think he's talking about drugs. I don't know if I'd say that. I mean, I maybe there is, but I don't. Maybe I'm just being dumb. But it just seems like such a song about just wanting to get after a girl, a woman, whatever, or whatever your preference is here. But here again, I would say that Michael's after a woman, because he does say girl at one point. But yeah, I would just say it just seems to be that kind of simple, I would say. And as I would say, almost like a throwaway song, but a throwaway song that became one of their best known hits, from what I've read too. And yeah, that riff does sound familiar. I don't know if it was in like, must be in like a movie or TV shows or something. Maybe it was in a game. But the words, Michael's voice here, that does not sound familiar to me at all. But I've heard that riff. And again, I know, as people have put it, it's a famous riff, so maybe that's why I've heard it, but I've never heard anything else from the song. So this is a reaction, a true reaction, I would say. But I guess that's kind of a riff where you have to have heard it somewhere. And yes, I did. But anyway, I do also want to mention, I talk about Michael Hutchence. Andrew Ferris, who of course is on electric guitar here, is also on synthesizer. The synths here, they're kind of spaced out, throughout the track, and I like that a lot. And the song itself has a lot of space. The song has there's one pause in there too, and it's just like, they let the song breathe at points, which is just gorgeous. It just creates such a gorgeous vibe too, because of just how quiet it is at points too. And then again, they would shift over to kind of a more powerful sound, but there's just so much going on here. There's elements of, I would say, of funkiness. There's obviously rock here, alt rock, whatever you want to say, new wave, of course, too. And I like how the band would do that a lot of the time, and they would use like reggae as well, and they just fucking I mean, they were just musically inclined, obviously. But going on to Tim Ferris is also on electric guitar, and Kirk Pingley, or maybe Pingley, I apologize. Kirk, though, was on electric guitar too. And they were just, and I don't know which ones were doing which parts, but I do know Andrew was on the famous riff, as they say. But there was that slashing of guitar at some point, too. And they were just all playing so well together. Of course, they were all in sync with each other. They were bouncing around in the video. You could see them all just standing around. And again, you can only bounce to this. I mean, this song has so much swagger, and it is so bouncy and so boppy, whatever you want to say. The song's a bop. It's a banger. I mean, my God. And then we have, I don't know, Gary, or is it Gary Beers? Either way, Beers here is on bass guitar. And I probably mispronounced his name before too, but he's on bass guitar here. And I mean, it's almost like you lose him too at some point, because the guitars are so overwhelming in a good way. But and then you kind of forget about the bass guitar. Maybe not everybody does, but I almost forgot to talk about him here until I saw his name. But that bass is just so funky within itself as well, and it's just such a big bass line. I mean, he's as important as the other guys too. It's just, and my voice is just going all nuts. I mean, my God, I just can't get over this song. And then John Ferris. what a character in the video too. I just love him just with the sticks at points looking at you through the video too. And but he was on drums and he was on programming too. And again, I think I guess the drum programming is how the song opened up so delicately, so melodically, I guess you might say too. But again, just so soft and kind of quiet, and then the riff comes in and we're on our way, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, this is just it's just a classic. I mean, my God, you can't say much more about that. And again, I can see why this is ranked as one of the best tracks, and I can't believe I haven't heard it otherwise than that riff. And again, I don't know where I know that riff from, but how I don't know the rest of the song. But anyway, let's go into these lyrics anyway, because the song's only 3 minutes, so this video shouldn't be too freaking long. Anyway, come over here, what you said in a whisper with the intro here. And when Michael says come over here, I'd imagine people at this time in 1987 would obey. And I mean, even guys, I mean, my God, yeah, I'll come see you, my God. Anyway, I'd imagine you have to beat the women, as they say, off with a stick. But anyway, all you got is this moment. 21st century is yesterday. You can care all you want. Everybody does. Yeah, that's okay. Now, I feel like, again, we're just talking about kind of almost simplistically here. It seems like nothing else matters except for today, except for the now, except for how I want you right now. Yesterday is nothing. It's irrelevant. Let's move on to today. And we have the chorus. So slide on over here and give me a moment of your time, you might say. Just give me a moment of you. Give me your sex. I mean, my God, your moves are so raw. I mean, that's put so raw. I mean, my God, your moves are so raw. I've got to let you know. And again, his dancing in this video is just so raw, so sexy as well. I've got to let you know you're one of my kind. Ow. And then, of course, the moans in here, almost reminiscent of like Jarvis Cocker of Pulp. The horniness is off the scales here, just like Jarvis can do. I've got to let you know that you're one of my kind. Not one of a kind, you're one of my kind. Again, he seems to be trying to persuade this woman. And I don't know if you had to do much of a persuasion job back in the day. I feel like, again, he was just an enigmatic character that I would think people would go to anyway. And especially he was famous, especially around this time. Anyway, I need you tonight because I'm not sleeping. I mean, that says everything right there. Let's go home. There's something about you, girl. I apologize for the snorting as well. There's something about you, girl, that makes me sweat. Again, he can't get over this woman. She's all he can think about, really, she's all he can think about, yes, and he needs her. He needs her when he can't sleep, especially, and maybe he wants to do something else in the band with her. Then we go into the second verse. How do you feel? I'm lonely. This is where again the shouting back comes to him. What do you think? What do you think? Can't think at all. What you gonna do? Gonna live my life. And what's weird to me, I don't know if I'd say weird, but it was around this time too, anyway. But this part reminded me of like the Ghostbusters theme song. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. I don't know why they came to mind when he was just saying, how do you feel? I'm lonely. What do you think? Can't think at all. But just had to put that out there. It was the 80s. So anyway, then we go into the chorus once again. Slide on over here. Give me a moment. I mean, my God, again, I don't know who would not slide over to him. I need you tonight because I'm not sleeping. There's something about you that makes me sweat. And he needs her so much. And then again, the bridge comes in. It's a lot of the same lines here, but it works so well. The song's already short enough, so what the hell? So how do you feel? I'm lonely. What you gonna do? Can't think at all. What do you think? Can't think about. What you gonna do? Gonna give my life. And then that's repeated on again. And then we have the chorus to finish everything off. And I thought it was gonna end, and of course he pops back up with the "You're one of my kind." It's just like, oh my God, just again. Just what a guy, what a sexy looking fella. I mean, my God, what a sexy song. Like I said, very sultry, very sensual, very sexual, all that stuff. And again, almost in a way, like I said, like a throwaway song or a song that they didn't think about too much. And it seems like that happens a lot for many bands. They record a song that they don't really put a lot of thought into, or it came very easy to them, and they think, oh, there you go, let's put that out. And then it becomes a big hit, and it's like, Jesus Christ. But anyway, love this song a lot. I feel like it encapsulated the band very well. They seem like such a fun band. And of course, going into the 90s and stuff, when Michael's decline would start after I believe he hit his head after getting punched by a taxi driver, I read. He hit his head off the concrete, and he never got checked out. And I was reading it out because his death anniversary happened not too long ago. And then he had bouts of depression, he had bouts of anger and all the stuff. And then, of course, he took his own life in 1997, was it, I want to say. So anyway, obviously a sad decline, but when he was on top, he was fucking on top, man. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all this stuff. Really appreciate all the support, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.